There are two ways to kill the Paris Agreement. I'll say that again. There are two ways to kill the Paris Agreement. The first method was large country. Oh, thank you. So that doesn't count, right? Okay, thank you. So there are two ways to kill the Paris Agreement. I'll repeat that again. There are two ways to kill the Paris Agreement. The first method was attempted last month. A large country announces its intention to withdraw from the treaty, which destroys the treaty's credibility and leads to a mass exodus. Fortunately, that attempt failed. The outcry it provoked was swift, intense, and nearly universal. Rather than a rush to the exits, world leaders rejected such short-sighted unilateralism and proclaimed their continued commitment to science, reason, and global solidarity. The second way to kill the Paris Agreement is to bury it alive in political rhetoric. The method is far more deadly, and when it comes to aspirational speeches, the international community is chock full of highly trained assassins. So we must all remain vigilant of our responsibilities under the Paris Agreement, lest we become complicit in its demise. Chief among these responsibilities is the full implementation of our NDCs. Each and every one of us has made this solemn commitment, and we are now 2 years closer to the time when we will be held to account. It is a significant number of if a significant number of countries fail to implement the NDCs, then the days of the Paris Agreement as a prominent international institution will be numbered. With regard to developing country NDCs, implementation is a collective responsibility. In submitting our NDCs, we have demonstrated our political will to be part of the global effort, but most of us lack the resources to fully implement them alone. Here, the Paris Agreement commits developed countries to provide the necessary assistance. In other words, the future of the Paris Agreement depends on building strong partnerships. Nauru is fully committed to the Paris Agreement, not just in terms of our rhetoric, but also our action on the ground. And we have submitted ambitious NDCs, and we are seeking partners to take the work forward. Honorable Prime Minister, the Republic of Fiji does the Pacific proud by taking on such an important leadership position within the climate change negotiations. As you know, the world is watching intently. Your prominent platform and considerable convening power presents a unique opportunity to highlight the opportunities and the challenges in the Pacific. The PCIDs have submitted detailed NDCs which are typically backed by even more detailed national sustainable development plans and project proposals. There is no mystery as to the type of support we need, and my delegation hopes that we will be able to work closely with you so that the Pacific arrives at COP23 ready to implement and announce new partnerships. So the Paris Agreement alone will not stop climate change, and as you have rightly stated this morning, Prime Minister, current contributions are set to take us well past 3 degrees temperature rise. But it does hold out the promise over greater cooperation over time, which can only be the path forward. So, Honorable Prime Minister, thank you for convening this timely and important meeting, and thank you to your country for its warm and generous hospitality. Vinaka Vakalevu.